Do you ever have those moments where something is on the tip of your tongue? You feel like you're forgetting something. I'm having one of those moments. I feel like there is something begging, screaming to be remembered, but it's almost there, but I can't quite remember it. What is it? What is it? I know what it is. It's my 5-year work anniversary! 5 whole years. Hi Lovebug, my name's Saskia and I work as a dominatrix. And today's video is going to be unpacking the 5 most important lessons that I have learned in my work as a dominatrix. So get a cup of tea, sit down and let's explore what they mean to me. Cheers. You know we're celebrating when I'm drinking Coke out of a wine glass. Cheers. So let's begin. First on the list of lessons that I have learnt in my 5 years of being a dominatrix. And that lesson is the power and importance of authenticity, which is a lesson that I learn every single day and have to embody every single day. When I first joined this industry, I looked at other people within the industry, DOMs, and I didn't really see myself reflected in them. So when I first started, I was very worried if there was going to be space for me in my fullness, in my entirety, within the professional world of domming. And that is because there's quite an armour and an aesthetic that often comes with being a dom, which is all black and you're in latex and you're very serious and it looks and it sounds a certain way. And I've always been a very colourful and expressive person and a person that cares very deeply and has very particular ways of meeting people in their vulnerability. And when I first started, I tried to fit in. I bought the right clothes and I did the things that I thought that you needed to do when you're a dom. And that got me clients, and I'm very grateful for all of those clients that I started my journey with. But there was a really pivotal turning point within my career when I really stepped into what it is that makes me me within my style of domming and outside of that, and all of my interests. So my background in psychology, my interest in tantra, and my mindful approach to how I do things, my desire to really create a container that is adorned with theatre and ritual. And I really stepped into that. I stepped into the fact that I'm a spiritual being and I wanted to integrate that as part of my practice. And I was scared when I changed my branding, so to speak, and I was scared to really step into who I am as a person, because I thought, well, if I have no clients now, then, you know, they are rejecting me fully rather than a kind of masked and edited version of me. But actually, all that it did was made me find the right people. The people that find me now, there is a tremendous amount of resonance and the sessions are fuller. And surprisingly, I make more money now. So every different avenue, being myself has paid off. So I would really encourage you, if you're thinking about stepping into this work, or if you're already in this work, the world of sex work, or any kind of job actually for that matter, to just be yourself. It's scary to be yourself, but people really enjoy and connect with authenticity. People can tell when you are comfortable in your own skin and when what you are doing and how you're approaching things and the things that you are creating are true and will ultimately better serve you because of that. So lesson number 1, authenticity definitely pays off in the long run. The second lesson is that there is truly no common kind or type of submissive. Lots of different people, ranging from all gender to every type of work with all kinds of financial backgrounds, end up stepping into this world with me. And that's because really there is no common submissive. I have had such a well of wonderful and interesting and complex, messy people stepped into this container with me. I have had the pleasure of meeting so many beautiful different kinds of people, and they have taught me so much about the world because it's given me a lens into a different perspective, but a different culture, different religions. So yes, I have people submit to me and step into surrender, and they are bankers. And I also have pagans and Buddhists come and want to explore the art and the act of letting go too. And I think we live in a world where sometimes things can be very binary, and from a really young age we get adorned with conditioning and told who we should be and how we should act. So I think really every kind of person is craving an experience where they let go, and that might be through kink and through fetish and surrendering to a person, and that might be another outlet where they get to feel that sense of letting go. But I think that we all crave it and we all need it. We all need that balance as a person, be able to step into the fullness of being human, to be empowered and to be the one making the decisions, and to also have that power taken away from you and to not have to make every single decision. So yeah, it's really taught me that there's not one kind of person that wants to step into this, and in fact it's really taught me how fucking beautifully complex humans are, and that you might walk past someone in the street and really presume certain things about them in the way that they present themselves to the world. But ultimately, so many of us are wearing a mask and just craving opportunities where we can just remove that mask and simply be. Lesson number 3 is probably one of the most important ones that I have learnt, and that is the significance of presence. I think that probably one of the most important pieces of the puzzle when it comes to holding space in this way, and one of the pieces that can be really monumental to that breakthrough and that sense of transcendence, is presence. Being fully attuned to one another and giving one another our complete and undivided attention. And that's really important in a way that most of us probably don't realise. But we live in a world that is so insanely busy in every moment, and our attention is constantly being bought and sold. And it makes it really fucking difficult to be present, because we're often thinking about the future or the past, or having our attention, which has become this really precious commodity, being bargained over. And we seldom can really walk for a place anymore without our attention being taken. So for a lot of people that enter this space with me, for me to create a ritual and create a moment where they're able to drop into presence, where time melts away, where who they are outside of that moment completely melts away, and they can be present in their body, they can be attuned in that moment, because that moment is truly the only thing that we've got. That is very telling. And for people who are disassociated often in their life, or are simply too busy just to really drop into their own body and to drop into the present moment, can be a hugely beautiful and sometimes really emotionally evocative. And So presence is everything. And then to have another human being sat in front of them, really willing to witness them in their entirety in that moment, and to be attuned to their body and their mind, and to accept them fully for all that they are in that moment, for whatever juicy, messy, filthy version of them wants to take root in that moment, it's huge, it's everything. And it's given me a deeper appreciation to how disconnected the world is in a way, and how important connection truly is, and connection that is present, connective, that level of connectivity where, yeah, we truly look one another in the eye and we say, there is nothing that's going to be stealing my attention right now. You have me, I see you. So that is lesson 3. And if we can all take moments and find opportunities to really bring presence into our lives, I think it's a truly beautiful thing that we can all benefit massively from. Lesson number 4. Boundaries are vessels, not walls. The importance of boundaries, which, of course, you're probably sat there thinking, most definitely. If you are working in the world of sex, then you need to have a strong sense of boundaries. And absolutely, that is so incredibly important. But it goes beyond that, the importance of boundaries, and just how truly delicious boundaries can be. Throughout my life, I had really, truly always been a people pleaser, and was often prone to crossing my own boundaries when I didn't even realise it. Small little things. But over time, those lack of boundaries and crossing your own boundaries really begins to change the way that you feel pleasure. And it changes the way that you connect to yourself, connect to your own temple, your own body, connect to other people, and connect to the world around you. So I've really stopped seeing boundaries as limitations and actually seen them as opportunities for expansion, which is what they are. So within my world, and within the world of sex work and domination, boundaries are incredibly important, of course. And sometimes I will get application forms from people and they will say that they have no boundaries and I can do whatever I want to them, which scares me, which really scares me, because boundaries are how we work out what feels good and how we discover those wells of pleasure within ourselves. And boundaries are so ridiculously important. And when I look into somebody's eyes and I have an intimate moment with them, I want an enthusiastic yes. But that means that you, the person who is giving me that enthusiastic yes, needs to have a strong sense of your own boundaries, or at least have the ability to be in your body and trust your yes and your no's and communicate that. So boundaries are magical. Boundaries are very much fire starters and pleasure starters, and yeah, I've gone on a real journey within this work and outside of this work of really developing a very strong sense and connection to my own boundaries. And yes, those boundaries apply to my body, but they also apply to things like time boundaries. When I first started this job, and even sometimes now, the end of a session, that moment where we've gone over time, I used to really struggle to stand there and say, I need you to leave now. I need you to sort of integrate from this space and move on, because we said this amount of time, and that's a boundary too, time. So I've been forced to learn those skills, and I'm still learning them every single day, to connect more with my boundaries and confidently and from an empowered place state that boundary, because I having my own boundaries and you having your boundaries ultimately makes everyone feel safe too. I feel much safer around people who know themselves and are willing to state what their boundaries are. And yeah, so boundaries. And learning boundaries within this work has meant that my boundaries outside of this space are ultimately better too, which has improved my friendships, my relationships, my relationship to myself and my own body, to the world around me. And my final lesson, lesson number 5, is simply that desire is complex, and that's the point. My background is in psychology and counselling, which means that I've always had a natural tendency to try and pathologise everything, to try and work out why. I'm very much known as the person who asks the why questions. I want to know why, when did that first arrive in you? How is that connected to your parents? What happened in childhood? That's always been a part of how I operate, my operating system. But what I will say about doing this job and meeting so many beautifully diverse people with beautifully diverse kinks and fetishes, I mean, I could sit here for hours and hours and hours talking about just how many different kinks and fetishes and desires there really are. And it's not simple. To answer that why question isn't simple, and I think a previous version of me would have pathologized things a lot and maybe would have traced it back to childhood, but it simply doesn't fit into a nice and tidy box, and I love that. I really truly love that. I love telling this story because it's just one of those really beautifully unique ways of a kink developing that is just so incredibly wholesome and has nothing to do with childhood. I had a client who, his kink it was to get in the bath fully dressed, and he just liked to be submerged under the weight of the water and to have someone witness that. And we were in the bath together once, and I said to him, where do you remember the first time that this arose in you, like this desire, when it began to percolate throughout your being? And he said, I do actually. And that he was on holiday and he got really badly burnt, so he had sunburn all over his arms. And he still really wanted to go swimming, but he obviously couldn't be out in the sun like that. So he wore a t-shirt and he went out into the pool, and it felt so good, and it felt like the universe was giving him this massive hug, like the weight of it was really grounding and erotic and was turning him on. And then there was the taboo aspect of it, that nobody else was in the pool with their clothes on, and this isn't a thing that you do really, you know, you get in with your bikinis on or your shorts on. So he felt like a little bit risky. And then that just developed from there, which I love. So we could spend all day sitting around pathologizing. Maybe it's porn, maybe you watched a TV show when you were a child, maybe your mum didn't love you in the way that you wanted, so now you're seeking a certain kind of feeling. Maybe you overheard a conversation on a bus. But does it really matter? Does it matter? Or can we lean into how something feels for us rather than constantly trying to question why that might be and if that should be? So I've stopped trying to pathologize so much now and to just lean into the beautiful absurdity and how it feels in the moment, because people are messy and complex, and so is their desire. And yeah, so that is my list of the 5 most important things that I have learnt in my 5 years, as of March, years of being in the world of domination. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please do subscribe and follow me across the internet, because I'm in various different parts of the internet, and when you engage with my stuff it gives me a nice little boost and my heart feels happy and it tells me keep making stuff, Saskia. So if you want me to continue making videos like this, please do interact, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. Sending you so much love, love bugs. We're sad. Safe. Safe. Ay. 5 years, 5 years, 5 years, 5 years. I'm getting old. I'm getting so old. What am I going to do with all these bits now? Was it worth it? We'll see once I've cleaned them up if it was, if it was worth it. Ah. The joy of being alive and being a human. Get to do silly things like this. Someone in the world went, wouldn't it be fun if little paper circles were shot at people? That would make a fun activity. And someone else went, that would make a fun activity. And so it was made, and now we have confetti. What are you gonna do?